So I was going to try and upload a video yesterday. However, I just got really busy and unfortunately I wasn't able to. So I am coming at y'all today, Tuesday, with a chronic illness tag. Oh, I swear my hair, like, oh, it's horrible. Um, yeah, no, whenever my hair starts acting up, I threaten to take it to one of those polygamy cult places and get it done. Anyways, so I wanted to do the chronic illness tag. I was like looking up and down for it. Like, for some reason you would think it'd be easier to find, but no, it wasn't easy. There was one that I saw that had like 30 questions because I think it went like by day. And I was like, no, I'm not about to be about that life. So I found one. It's on Cacophonic blog. Caconic, Cacophonic. Y'all, I don't know how to pronounce this. I will link it. Cacophonic blog. Okay. Anyways, so the first question is, what illness do you have? I have a variety of disorders, but the main one that I have is spina bifida. That's what it's called. So yeah, that's what I have. That's the illness. I do have others, but I really don't want to go into them just because I feel like they're a little bit more personal, but maybe I can do like a separate tag on those when I feel comfortable. But yeah, the main illness that I have is spina bifida. When was I diagnosed? Second question. I was actually diagnosed at birth, 'cause that's typically what happens, is that you are diagnosed. Well, I don't know if you're diagnosed. Sometimes you're diagnosed while you're in the womb, but sometimes babies are born with spina bifida and they come out and that's when they're diagnosed. Okay, so question number 3. Have you ever been hospitalized? Yes, I have been hospitalized for a few times. Let me see here. Once for my knees, a surgery, once for my back, for my tendon release, so that's 3. And I think that's about it. 3 times. 3 times I had to be hospitalized. But those were just surgeries. And so it wasn't actually something that was a result of my disability or my illness. So yeah, well, I guess it kind of was, but it was more of like to correct it. Okay, so question number 4. Have you ever had surgery? Yes, I have had surgery. Like I said, I've had surgery on my back, I've had surgery on my knees, I've had surgery on my ankles, and I used to have a shunt when I was born, but they took it out, and I don't have a shunt anymore. But yeah. Ow. Sorry, my arm. Okay. Question number 5. Do I take any medication? I used to take a few types of medication. I used to take, let me think here, oxybutynin, which basically helps with my bladder. It is a anticholinergic, if y'all know what that is. So yeah, I used to take oxybutynin for that. And it helped with my bladder. It helped with bladder spasms and things of that nature. So yeah. Okay, next question. Question number 6. Do you wish people knew about the chronic, what do you wish people knew about the chronic illness? I would say that people like me that have spina bifida can go on and live a successful and independent life. I have my own car, I have my own place, I take care of myself, so it's not like I'm constantly having to depend on other people for things. I'm very independent, and I think it also kind of has to do with the way that my parents raised me. as to why I am this way. So yeah, I would say that the disability that I have is like not a death wish, and honestly, like I don't think any kind of disability is. So yeah. Number 7, how can awareness be raised? I would definitely say to make sure, um, if you have knowledge of a disability, or if you have somebody in your disability in your family that has that disability, to educate people, maybe friends or maybe friends of friends, just people that you meet every day, just educating them and kind of like knowing about your illness. If you feel like you want to open up about it, there's definitely like illnesses and conditions that I have never heard of before, and I take my time out, like when I hear it, I make sure like I take my time out and really research it and kind of figure out what the illness is all about. So that's what I would say, is definitely like just educate people on, if you feel comfortable, educate people on like what your illness is, just so that you don't really like have people who are ignorant, because I mean, if you don't educate somebody, they can be ignorant. So yeah, I would definitely say educate people as much as you can if you feel comfortable. Personally, I don't feel comfortable educating people, or just strangers that I go up to me every single day. So yeah, I'm one of those people that just kind of want to be left alone. Okay, so question number 8: who knows about your illnesses? Typically, just my family and my close friends know about my illness. Um, on the question before, raising awareness, definitely, if you're one of those outgoing people that love to just go out and let people know, like, about your illness and what it is, doing that, like, that's great. Um, but yeah, just my family and friends, and just people kind of close to me know about my illness, or my illnesses or my disorders. So, yeah, that's who knows. Um, Question number 9: How do how does my illness affect my life? I'm a very independent person. I would say for the most part, spina bifida doesn't really affect my life as much as my other disorders do. Um, just because I think it's because my parents have just really raised me to be independent and to take care of myself. Sometimes I do think, like, what would my life be like without my illness or my disability? But at the same time, like, I also think, like, well, I have it and I can work with it, and I've had it all my life. And it doesn't really affect me that as much since I've been born with it. I don't know. I feel like when you're born with it, you adapt to it really well. But I can definitely tell y'all, like, I know people who are in wheelchairs, and they have a really hard time coping with it because they weren't in wheelchairs to begin with. I've known one chick who was in a wheelchair, and she was in a wheelchair as a result of um, a car accident. So yeah. Okay. So number 10: if you could tell the community or medical community about your illness, what would you tell them? Um, I don't know. Like, that's kind of a weird question. The medical community. Um, Research it. If you have questions, maybe sorry, ask the person who has it, or maybe the family who has it, or the family of the person that lives in the family about it. Um, I mean, like, my disability, like, it just doesn't affect me, but kind of reaching out more like past the medical community. Just if you see somebody that has a disability or is disabled, just make sure like you're giving them a chance. Like, I can't tell you how many times like I've kind of been written off just because I have a disability. In fact, I went to a bar with a few of my friends, and somebody had actually talked to a bouncer, and they were actually asking like why I was on the dance floor, and it's kind of as if they were saying like why was I out in society, and I have a right to be here. Everybody has a right to be here. Um, so I guess like one thing I would say to somebody, not only like in the medical community, but just like in the community as a whole, is just make sure like you give people a chance. Like you give people a chance to kind of understand like their situation. So yeah. All right. Well, those are the 10 questions, and on the other tag, and I realized that I could just probably do this one instead. So if y'all like the chronic illness tag, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next Monday. Bye.